Right, y'all, we are back, and this is a good one. We got 5 palettes. I got some wine. It's Thursday. I was like, I want a little bit of wine tonight. This is Kim Crawford Light, 70 calories. I like it because it's just a nice, light feeling, nice, light taste to it, but still it's like, okay, I've been enjoying wine. This is the Sauvignon Blanc, and I like the 70 calories because, you know, wine can do a sustain. So I do like the original, but the 70 calorie, I support it. Now, I think this is a good one. 5 palettes that I regret purchasing. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So today I have a fun collab. Me and my girl Yadi Beauty, we were like, we're gonna collab on some stuff, and I was like, yes, let's collab. Let's. Like, you know, I'm kind of coming back into YouTube. She's coming back into YouTube. I took a couple months break. She's been heavy on the gram. I'm not. She's been on and off of YouTube for a lot of various reasons. But if you are not familiar with Yadera, my friend Yadi Beauty, please go check her out. Her channel will be listed down below. Now let me introduce myself. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're older goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. And eyeshadow. Oh, eyeshadow is my jam. But let me tell you something. I didn't regret these 2 palettes. No, ma'am. I don't regret this decision at all. So if you want to know what's on my eyes, it will be coming soon. I did film this because I was like, you know, after getting my Sumarian Sunset, I was like, oh yes, it's going to be bomb with the Inspired palette. And I'm talking about Adept Cosmetics. And the Inspired palette is coming back around the holiday, well, the makeup holiday season. Who knows what holiday? Holiday's already starting. Like Pat McGrath is going to release her holiday palettes soon. They'll be revealed tomorrow. So it's actually a mashup of both of these palettes. So like I said, I did film this, so you can check that video out. It'll be coming soon. Okay. Now, we got this idea. Let me see. Who was the creator? Let's give credit when credit is due. All right. So we got this idea from Jen Phelps. She filmed 5 palettes that she regrets buying and never uses. Now, majority, well, this one I use, but I'll show you how I use it. I just repurposed the palette. But I'm very sad to say, like, one of my favorite brands, coming in heavy in this 5, okay? Talking about 75%. Terrible. This is one of my favorite brands. If you guys have been here, you know what it is. So in no particular order, I'm just going to reach behind me, get the 5 palettes that I regret purchasing that somehow are still living in my collection. Well, 2 of them are new. They just came out this year, and I'm definitely going to talk about them at the end of the year because I like to wrap up with a video of how many palettes did I purchase in whatever calendar year. So, but they're regrets. Let's get started. Like I said, no particular order. So, depending on how you want to count this, it could be counted as one purchase because these 2 palettes were released as a trio. However, they're 2 individual palettes. I do have an honorable mention, so if you want to count that as 5, that's fine. But unfortunately, I like these creators. But something missed the mark here, and I don't know what it is because this has grown to be one of a top brand for me. Like anytime they're putting out stuff, I'm like, let me pay attention, let me look. I enjoy this brand. I enjoy how they collaborate. And sometimes, you know, you can like a brand a lot and wish you never bought something. It happens all the time. But unfortunately, I have to say these 2 right here. Oh, I just had a time with them. It just did not work out well. So this was a collab with Odin's Eye. So it was 3 creators in total, but I picked up Lauren Mae Beauty's palette and Makeup Just for Fun. And Lauren Mae Beauty did the Sea Talk palette. Now, I got a pretty look. I got some pretty looks. But honestly, it took a lot. And honestly, I just wish I never purchased these palettes. So, and I love the Oden's Eye formula. Like, I just felt like the blue. Oh, okay, that's me not liking the palette, and the palette wants to talk back. I love navy blue. It was patchy. I mean, the formula was very off. It was very hard to layer the mattes. If you're putting on the mattes, it's like once you put down another color, it kind of blended away. It was hard to kind of stamp the other colors in. And I just don't know what happened here. I really don't. Now, the mermaid scale shade is very pretty. You know, it's kind of giving, you know, that was the duochrome that was here. But it's just okay. I have other shades like that. It's not giving anything special. Some of the other shades, they were just hard pressed. And like I said, it was just hard to work with. And the formula, sometimes Oden's Eye shimmers can be a little bit tricky, but they've been evolving. And especially after how great the Christmas palettes were. We had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Hits 10, 10, 10. Like, still using them across the line, even if it's not the holiday season. I'm like, yes, they're transcending with me. I love these palettes. So it was a no-brainer when I saw that they were going to collaborate again, and their last collaborations had been bomb. So, you know, they had the whole Legendary Diverse series with several creators, and all of those palettes were great. And then we have Makeup for Fun. Okay, so I think out of the two, she probably had the best palette. That was easy to work with, but let me tell you, child, this orchid shade, she worked my nerves. It was not good. It was just hard. Now, Magnolia was really pretty. Like, I got some looks out of it. You know, I did a pretty look. It was all right. You had to spray it, hit it with a glitter glue. And I don't mind doing things with a glitter glue. Like, that doesn't bother me. But if the mattes are not combining well, if the shimmers are not playing well with the mattes, I'm having a problem. What saved this palette for me was the shade Dawn. And I might... Is it worth it? I'm trying to think. Is it worth it for me to like depot this shade and just keep it? Because I do love this shade. Like, you see, it's a beautiful multi-chrome, but it might not be worth it because if you look at the shade on my eyes, it's pretty much the same. So I did wear this particular shade, and I paired it with some Lens Money mattes. And I was like, okay, you know, all hope is not lost because I really did like this particular shade. The greens didn't really perform that well. And this was actually a better formula, I feel like, in her particular palette because they felt a little bit more creamier in texture and it wasn't as powdery, but I still felt like it was just okay. I just regret. I really do. But this was the better out of the two for me, okay? And I was just so sad because I feel like they put something really cute and different together. And I was here for the color stories. Now, it was so much to the point is that when they came out with like the Gem Rock and these palettes, I was like, oh no, I don't know. I'm scared. And after everybody's been saying it's great, I was like, okay, let me pick up my palette, all right? Now, let's just go in with the 75% over here. One of my favorite, like top tier, one of my favorite brands. She's at the top. I still be rocking with her, even though she be getting on my dang on nerves. She's still mama. She's still Auntie Pat. She's still... like that girl, okay? If she's releasing something, I'm like, yes, I want to see. I'm like, oh, how much pink is it going to be? Like, it's driving me crazy. Also me, in the nail shop, deciding between two pink shadows on my nails, okay? On my nails, fine, okay? But I don't want to see all these pink eyeshadow palettes, okay? I can't dip. Number one eyeshadow palette that I truly regret buying, but I have figured out a way to repurpose it, so all hope was not lost. And I know the other video was like, well, I never use it, but I really don't use it anymore now that she has come out with products in this particular category. But at the time, this was all I had, and I was like, I bought it, I purchased it. It wasn't the worst thing, but I didn't need this. So what is this? Eternal Eden, and it came out like in a Valentine's collection. And honey, yes, every time I rank my Pat McGrath palettes, she's dead last.
Just dead. Dead ass. She's just last. Last. Okay? And I know you're like, oh, I use it. I see all of that. Because this was my face palette. Okay? And I know it's a little bit cooler tone, but somehow this particular shade, it worked. It just worked. It worked as a cooler tone blush. It worked with some of my warmer looks to just kind of bring it all together. And it was only really this shade. So I could take this and maybe this. And this was just kind of giving, you know, kind of what my shade Cherish does that I have on right now. You know, just a nice little baby pink shade. You see, I use her a lot. The little rose is starting to fade. And yeah, I just don't like it. I was like, oh, I mean, good quality for sure. Ooh, still very creamy. You know, you could count on a Pat shade to be, you know, pretty much up to par, even after so much time, which is great because, you know, she ain't cheap. So, and this is prior to all the sales that used to run with Pat that she has now. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. But no, I don't like her. I think she came out circa, I don't think it was 2020. I think this was 2021 when this came out. And we didn't have blushes. So it was my blush palette. Another two palettes. It was like I've been bamboozled twice, okay? And the first one I don't even use. Like, I've never used it after I recorded the video. But something in me just doesn't really let me declutter Pat McGrath. I have decluttered a Natasha Denona palette. And I was like, I thought it was still hanging around because she definitely would have been in this video. And I'm talking about the Zendo palette, the bigger Zendo. Didn't like it. But was this the first one? Yeah, this is the first one. Diamond of the First Water, Bridgerton. I mean, I think in my ranking, like she might have got a little bit higher than the Eternal Eden, only because, I don't know, she had a sparkly blue, and if you're just lining them up, but this just fell so flat for me. I mean, honestly, like, I could get a look out of something, you know, if I'm trying hard, especially when I'm filming. Oh, I'm going to put together something for you, okay? So I definitely used, you know, like a blue base to make this pop. And then we were so excited because we were like, oh my God, there are blue sequins. Honey, this little mauve pop of blue. Let me tell you. And then these two shades. What was the point? Ma'am, mother, this was doing nothing. On the brown skin girls, on the tan skin girls, these two were doing nothing. Nothing at all. I was just disappointed. Like, oh my gosh. Like, girl, what? Look at this. You know, it's not really ashy. It just lacks. It's like no pigmenty. You know, I wouldn't say ash level is high because it's not ashy. It's just, what's the point? You can't see it. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it on her eyeshadow primer. I have been loving her eyeshadow primer. The shadows have been coming up to play with the eyeshadow primer, even though it's a clear base. But I have it on now, and this little mustardy shade is pretty much popping. Like, you can see it. I can see it in the monitor, you know, and this is an Adept shadow. And, you know, sometimes mustardy shades, those baby puke green colors, you know, they don't always really show up, but showing up. Everything's been showing up great with the primer. I don't know if these two are going to show up, but I'm not trying to find out. And, I mean, she might just stay in my collection. And then, you know, I was like, oh, she gave us a little bit more. Like, what? Okay, so this one is doing better, but I did not need this, okay? Because the only thing that's new to me, because I love Pat McGrath, is this shade. I didn't need this, but I would say those blushes in the hat box back there with that launch, A+. So, you know, this shade is giving. And the thing about it is, this one was better, okay? I just don't like it. I would recommend this to somebody who wanted to try Pat McGrath, who doesn't have Pat McGrath, loved the shade Gigabyte, but was like, I just can't afford Mothership 3. But you know, there are a lot of sales now that just weren't happening. But, I mean, we didn't have anything like this. So, you know, that's cute. You know, gorgeous. But let's be honest, this is Gigabyte just without the black base. Like, we're not gonna lie, it's gorgeous, but it's just like, it's no point. So if I want to like play with this shade, I'm going to go into Mothership 3. Like, I'm just gonna go home, you know, go big or go home. You know what I mean? I'm going into Mothership 3. This shade is pretty also. You know, it's a nice little, like, but honestly, it's so many of these across the board with Pat McGrath. So, I mean, and then the matte situations, it's a little bit better. You know, homegirl over here, not giving ashy, but not really giving pigmented. I'm going to put her here. She's like, what is this? These are the first two from the first palette. And this is the one down here. Mama, what? And they're like a frosted matte. Like, I'm done. So that was 5. And if you wanted to count these two together, because they launched at the same time, unlike the Bridgerton, which were like a year apart because they come out as the seasons come out on Netflix. So I heard that there's going to be a Bridgerton 3. Not for me. Now, Mary Jane, Melt Cosmetics. I love Melt, but I don't love Melt anymore. I don't like her anymore. No, I mean, I like her, but I don't like her. I don't know. She's losing some of my interest. I'm like, are y'all going to be okay as a brand? Because I don't know what's happening. But now the mattes, I truly do enjoy. Now what takes me out the realm when I pick up this palette, I'm like, yes, let me use this. But I don't want to deal with these flaky shimmers. Like, the shimmers are too much. Have y'all ever come to my channel and see an eyeshadow palette look all crazy like this? Have y'all ever... Have you ever seen a palette look like all of this? That's crazy. Like, I can go back here and pull out palettes. Oh, okay. We got Jackie Aina, right? You know, she's been out forever. I mean, she's a little, but she ain't that bad in terms of like fallout. I am like, usually I keep my palettes, you know, pretty clean. I've used this like twice. It's shimmers all over the mirror. It's a lot going on here, okay? And some of the shimmers are really pretty. I appreciate the cool toe vibes. I appreciate how they look on my skin complexion. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I do regret buying this. I love the packaging. Dope. I love the colors. It's just too hard. Like, every time I sit down, I'm like, yes, let me play with this. And I'm a glitter glue chick. Like, I don't mind pulling out the glitter glue. I got glitter glue right now underneath these Adept shadows. And I will tell you to use it in a heartbeat. Like, she's sitting right here. But it's like, it's glitter glue. And then, look how, like, we all know they're like soft. Like, I don't be having time for all these crumble factors. Like, it's a lot. It's doing a little bit better. Okay, maybe she was like, Heifer, stop talking about me. Maybe I'll okay, Biggie, give me one more chance. All right. You know, that was Sweet Lucy. She's still crumbly, okay? Like, I'm not saying, I don't think, if I'm in a rush, I'm not. See, look. A mess. I'm telling you. Okay, we got Mary Jane at the end. And I mean, in 2023, your shimmers got to be shimming, okay? Your mattes got to be matting if you want to be in this game. I'm sorry, it's just too many makeup brands out here. You cannot just stand on your name. And that goes for Pat too, because I don't know what these are. But I mean, it's so many good indie shadows. Like when I started loving makeup, it was just like Urban Decay, MAC. It was MAC for me first. Then I got a little bored with MAC, so I went to Urban Decay. And then everybody else, Too Faced was kind of innovative back then. And who else? Like you had all these different palettes, you know. People were loving like the Bobbi Brown palettes. People were loving like the Stila stuff. People were loving, it's another brand, and they come out. People were dealing with Tarte, and then everything started, you know, revolutionizing. And then it's like so many indie people, like indie companies, just got in the game and started making killer eyeshadows, whether they be multi-chromes or just straight up shadows. Like I could just think about, you know, my what is it, my Moonfall palette. Like those aren't multi-chromes, but those are like full-on great metallic shadows with very great mattes. Like you just can't be coming out here like half doing it. Okay, so yeah, this is a mess. just a mess. All right, so as I get me a makeup wipe, you know, yes, those are the palettes that I regret buying. There's a few more I can mention, but I've decluttered them from my collection. One that, you know, and I know I'm off base, but the one I regret from last year, and I was really like happy to get it and really wanted to try it. And I was like, oh, I really should have returned this. And I just ended up decluttering it. And I only had it for a few months. And I never really declutter anything after a few months because I like to kind of just go back and see how I feel about it. That Huda Beauty Empower palette. Didn't like it. Nope. So, yeah. Those are the ones I don't like in my collection. We'll see what happens with Miss Pat McGrath. She'll probably still be hanging around because I'm a clown and I won't declutter them because I just like, I want to show them when I write my video. I don't know. It makes no sense. But I never use them. But I'm going to use, well, I don't use Eternal Eden too much anymore because Pat has finally given us a plethora of blushes, you know? But, well, this was fun. A little video. So please go check out my girl Yadi Beauty. I will link her channel down below. Tell her that Ashleigh sent you. And if you are new here, please subscribe. If Yadi sent you, thank you for coming over to my channel. This was a fun little collab. And yeah, so that's all I got. So please leave me a comment down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. And subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with all of that being said, we got to end the video off right. And if you've never been here before, we end the video off with a chair dance. So for those who haven't heard this in a while or don't quite know where the chair dance came from, when I created my very first YouTube video, which was actually on Pat McGrath, Mothership 5, tell you, I love me some Pat McGrath. This is just disappointing, okay? I was so thrilled that I got my content together, that I was in focus, and I was just like, I did it. I did it. I filmed my first YouTube video, and it's just really just elevated. And you be like, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance. Hey, chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.